All right, before I get into it, like I said, I've been saying in my recent videos, if you already subbed to me or you've been coming to my channel recently, seeing my videos in the feed, well, sometimes, or just getting started. Yeah, like, pretty much like how I said before when I was talking about it, and my other critiques of whether it was a SmackDown or AEW. Yeah, if you just want to enjoy, if you just want to enjoy wrestling, then yeah, that's on you. Yeah, and just like say it like all the time, like, can we just enjoy wrestling? And then all over, because I see that all over Twitter. Can we just like everybody just enjoy wrestling? If the wars between AEW and sorry, kind of out of breath, but like, yeah, just enjoy wrestling. Can we all just enjoy wrestling as a whole? The whole war right now going on, it's pointless. Sorry, that's how it is. It's everywhere. Especially competition. Well, I don't really. Yeah, competition sells, and sometimes it brings a little creativity out, much more creativity out of the other. So, and plus it's fun as hell. So, of course, everybody gonna be into it. But yeah, like I said, like I just want to enjoy wrestling too. But when it comes to being, everywhere, especially like basically being, in the same, category, basically at the top, being that, at the top of your game, and you got others that want to come up and battle you, then that's how the game and competition goes. So sorry for the people that, they don't really, really want this going on, and, I kind of annoyed it. I am too, but once again, it's just, that's how competition breeds, that's how competition is in every, especially, in sport, entertainment, like hip hop, sports. Yeah, that's how it is everywhere. That's how people get much more stronger. But I just wanted to mention that real quick before I go into it. But yeah, like I said, as I was saying to y'all, I was going to get. It took me like 2 hours to do this, of course, because I wasn't gonna come on here and just like basically like WWE sucks, AEW is the best. That's how it is. That's what we're no. I actually wanted to dig deep, because like see people just want to trash something. That's it. And sound like they some from elementary school. They haven't they haven't graduated from elementary school yet. So yeah, I actually wanted to come at y'all with a logical, clear-headed. Oh my! I wanted to come at y'all with a logical, clear-headed point. As far as why how the war began, why it is, and where it's going. So let me get into it. Sorry about that. I need to stop doing that too. Because like if I talk on for a period of time, I start to get out of breath too. But let me get into it. Oh my gosh, I still keep doing it. I know that annoys some of y'all. My bad. I'm gonna try to stop doing that. So yeah. So as far as we already know, the war, that's been going up between WWE and AEW. That's been kicking off, and them trading shots head to head. It's basically just brewing and getting out of control. Guns is firing it up. Chokeholds, damn near getting to the throats. You got every week all over, especially on Twitter too. So I'll just say Twitter. It's probably everywhere else, but mainly on Twitter. You got like stands back, AEW and WWE stands going at it on all over Twitter every week, and it goes too far as like death threats, demeaning another person, whether it be physical, psychological, just stupid shit. Like, I do agree with that aspect. Like, when it goes to above you, just like you talking about putting your hands on somebody, or just like talking about each other's like, yeah, just demeaning someone else's appearance, whether it be appearance or something they like. Then that's when I say that really gets ridiculous. Because you get like, it's fun. Competition is fun and everything like that. You want to enjoy it. People, yeah, of course, to like say which one is which one is the better one. Then yeah, that's cool. But as far as like, yeah, just like it going deep into, it escalating to violence, then yeah, that's when it's going too far. But yeah, let me get into it. Talking clearly off the topic, but yeah, the battle underway between WWE and AEW. So yeah, of course I had to, go as it started initially back in 2019 when AEW was basically just taking off the ground. Yeah, they were like basically, yeah, on the ground and taking on, before getting into the airplane and taking off flight. So they were basically at a press conference before AEW fired a shot. And I think Tony Khan was still involved. Of course, I guess he's the founder, because as the initial boss of AEW. But I think the founders. I believe the founders. Yeah, the founders. The Young Bucks and CODY RHODES. So yeah, at the press conference where I guess they was like basically announcing. Probably was an announcement. I don't really know initially what it was about, because at that time, too, still I was like on and off, and basically wasn't watching the WWE as I am now. And of course, just to give my critique and thoughts on it for y'all. So one of y'all, just to look if y'all was just looking for to look for a different opinion, or about how somebody else thinks about the products. But yeah, they fired. So yeah, I was actually wrong about that when I was talking about my quick epilogue. I wanted to get a quick. I was getting first off. I was just getting a quick first basis about WWE versus AEW, and I thought WWE fired the first shot, because at the time I only heard like basically because when Triple H did that, when he when he mentioned AEW, I thought they was throwing the first shots, and I thought they was justified. But actually, yeah, AEW was actually. I thought, yeah, I think it had something, of course, to do with CODY, which is why he's basically started to be first, I guess, or yeah. So yeah, AEW fired the first shot, against WWE by holding when they was holding a press conference in Jacksonville, and and it was on the same day that WWE was holding SmackDown Live in the city, and yeah. So basically, they were they basically, yeah, like talking shit at a press conference with the audience, huh? And the same day they was I don't know, yeah, which are, like I said, I don't know which, as if it matters. Yeah, it don't really matter, but yeah, it's as he was doing a press conference, basically he was talking shit, throwing bars, spitting shots at WWE, and then dozens of their audience who was attending basically there at the rally. I guess when they was holding it, the press conference that you see there. I just wanted to show you a picture of it, and basically, yeah, and then those stands or whatever, their audience, or I can say audience too, because yeah, if I don't want to really cook it to that word. Because yeah, if y'all had like y'all know how, or whoever's basically coming new to my channel, yeah, y'all won't know that yeah, I don't really like the word fan, because like I said, it's kind of demeaning, and basically like but basically it's like I guess a god complex. So that's why I don't like that word. Yeah, so after that, dozens of AEW's audience, or who was attending that rally, they headed to WWE show, which was which especially Vince, they didn't take that shit lightly. It was like the fuck, who is this? What? Y'all coming to my show? Y'all coming to our show? And then, oh yeah, they the AEW the audience, or whoever, they was wearing merch. WWE, I guess staff at WWE or at that particular show, the security, they was turning away people from buying tickets who was wearing AEW merchandise. So they was like, yeah, if you wearing AEW merchandise, I don't know if Vince or Triple H was there, but basically they probably was giving word. Yeah, they was probably basically behind the scenes, giving word like some mafia shit. Basically, whoever's wearing AEW merchandise, don't let them in. Don't let them in. Don't let them motherfuckers in. Yeah, they basically said, yeah, like they was basically like, yeah, don't let the motherfuckers in. Whoever wearing AEW merchandise, don't let them in. Turn them bitches away. Send them packing before they even get through the door. And yeah, of course, that's basically what had happened at, basically, I guess, because I guess they heard of the shot that they was talking shit at that press conference, and they was they was sending a drone. They was sending, AEW was sending their drones to that show, basically, saying that, basically they initiating the battle, I guess, yeah, basically sending their soldiers to saying that, yeah, what's up? I'm trying to start a battle. And like I said, yeah, they send them bitches away. Whoever was wearing AEW merchandise, and like I said, or I don't think I said it before. This is the first time that WWE has had competition in like 30 years, like real competition, and that's like backed on, but as far as like with financial backing, because whoever. Tony Khan is worth like millions or billions, and his father is worth is a billionaire too. So they got like a real financial backing. Plus they got TNT, now TBS now. So yeah, it's really about to get some deep shit. They AEW is backed. This ain't no TNA. Well, WCW had the same thing, but Tony Khan says he's a wrestling fan, but I don't know. Anybody can say that, but yeah, he says he's a wrestling fan, so I guess that benefits him a little bit more too. But yeah, like I said, WCW had the same thing, but Ted Turner wasn't really into wrestling. It was as far as the business for him. So I guess when when I guess he really didn't want to. I guess he wasn't really feeling it anymore. He pulled away from it, and that's how WCW fell. They really didn't have no money. They didn't after that, because Ted Turner pulled away. So after that, that's how that fell in the ground. But as far as AEW, they got Tony Khan says he's a wrestling fan, and then they got money, and now they got so they got they got a really major backing now. What AEW got so. Ooh, sorry. And then, like I said, this marks the first time that finally that WWE has got competition from AEW, from where anybody since WCW days. They've been had competition because as far as like the 80s, the first time between. Yeah, because when they were in the 80s, basically initially coming up, who was the Vince's father before him. Yeah, who was the owner before, who was the owner of WWE before him. So, and when they were in the 80s, when they were basically coming up, there were 3 major wrestling promotions on top of the regional territories, which was NWA, WWE, and AWA. So basically, I guess like they're like the 13 colonies. They were like the only promotion, top, I guess, promotions who really had any really had, I guess, really like real their own territory, or I guess like people, yeah, as far as like territory goes, that's what they had, but they were like, they still were on the same level because they were like small basically, even though they were like basically like the top promotions, like I guess is like whoever was in the wrestling watch. So and then AW not AW AWA and NWA tried to branch out, but then they failed, and WWE was the only one to succeed behind that. They succeeded, and behind all that. Yeah, WWE succeeded behind that, and they basically rose to the top of the wrestling world, as far as like being the only one that casuals and hardcore. I mean, they had their stands, but as far as anybody ever watching, if they wanted to tune into what wrestling, WWE was now basically the only thing you could watch, even in the '80s. Really, so so that was their that was that there. So that they had to battle them, NWA and AWA in the '80s, and as you know, so they've been getting competition. They've been WWE's been battling any promotion. I said it's not the, or if if for the millennials, the boomer millennials who didn't really know like if this is like the first time, or basically like you know if like this is the first time when people say that the first time they ever had competition, but they've been like battling, they've been had promotions that's come at them before. That's like as far as like NWA, AWA, and then in the '90s, it's basically every wrestling fiend knows. Any wrestling fiend knows that's in the '90s that it was basically their top rival at the time. WCW in the '90s they was battling, and then the 2000s was TNA. Yeah, basically also the 2000s was TNA, and then now, which y'all know now, AEW, which is their now, since in a lot of years that's been their another competitor that's a major top company now that's battling them now. So yeah, WWE's always had they've been battling at other promotions, so it's not really like the first time. Or it's like if you say like this is like if you say like this really isn't the first time, or as far as like WCW being their only competitor. No, Vince always has had competition, and he beat them at every single way at their own game, and surfing, scooting to the top. So I do give Vince his proper his credit, because I don't know if it was, I probably had to dig more deep, but I don't know if it was because this is basically just as far as like having competition too. So yeah, I don't know if it was because of the talent. Well, it's mainly the money as far as competition, because I guess the promotions can have the best talent in the world, and they still, I guess they wouldn't, like, no one would really lose, because people still watch. They have their stands, and then casuals go whoever they go. Casuals don't really stay. The casual, yeah. When you say casual, talk about a casual, that's in anywhere, whether it's video games, sports, cars, bodybuilding. So bodybuilding sport. Well, not. I wouldn't call it a sport either, even though I love it. But yeah, as far as like anywhere, anywhere. Like casuals don't really stay anywhere. They like, yeah, basically like a ping pong, or ping pong ball. They go anywhere they want to go. Yeah. So like I said, yeah, this is now that they're that now they're battling against competition, which is AW. So they've always, as far as them always have a competition. And another thing I wanted to get into it about, another reason why. And at the time they had, I mean, as far as like them having like a little talent too, like they were basically just, and now they got so much talent, but they basically just had, and they was like already taking shots at them. Damn, that's kind of bold. And they had like it's Cody Rhodes, his wife, the Bucks, Hangman Page, which who was back now, Chris Jericho, and Pac, who Neville was before he used to be Neville in WWE. He was Pac, and he was there at the beginning with them too. And Joey Janela, Penelope Ford, MJF too, Britt Baker, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Carzania, and Scorpio Sky. So these whole lists basically they're homegrown. Well, not well, yeah. As far as Pac, basically all of their homegrown talent. Or if you want to say homegrown talent, I don't think anybody really has homegrown talent because whoever like the top talents in the world has been everywhere. So CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Bret Hart, Undertaker, yeah, so Stone Cold. Yeah, so I don't really, if you really want to call them homegrown talent or not, whatever, because the top talents, they've been basically everywhere in the world, or wherever they started first. So there really isn't any grown talent when it comes to, I guess when it comes down to sports or wrestling or whatever, or if you're just trying to say you grew your own talent there, you can't, which is like that's a really a stretch. Okay, yeah, and after that, basically, when they basically AEW sent their soldiers, they stands to the that night, that day in SmackDown was airing.